All right, we are going to go ahead and get started because we do have quite a bit of information and I want to be sure that we get everything within the hour. So once again want to thank everybody for joining us. Um, if you are just now joining us, please know that this is going to be recorded. So if you accidentally miss anything, we are going to email out both the recording and the slides, and we will be putting it on our website. So please feel free to listen and ask your questions. And if anything comes up, you can always email us later. But if you feel like it's going a little quickly, you will have access to all this information. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Once again, please feel free to put any questions you have in the chat. I know we cannot see you or hear you, but you can write in the chat to us and Adler or Veronica will answer your questions. So please, Adler, like I said, if you see something that you feel like should be said out loud, go ahead and interrupt me, but I am going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to our 2026 parent orientation. I am going to say if you have had your child at camp before, some of this information is going to be things that you may have heard before, but we do have some new updates for you as well. If you are new to Camps on Campus, welcome. Thank you so much for picking us to be with this summer. I'm going to go ahead and start with my background. My name is Elise Marrero. I am the Camps on Campus Director. I work here full-time at UNC Charlotte. I was a teacher for 13 years. I worked all in elementary school. I taught kindergarten, first, and fourth grade. And I actually got my start with Camps on Campus as an instructor. So I was teaching the baking camp and I did a culinary camp as well. So just some pictures for you guys to kind of get to know me in case you weren't here last year. I also would love for you all to meet our camp leadership team. They are all on as panelists with us today. So I'm going to give them each just a minute or two to introduce themselves. I would love for you all to get to know them. I'm going to start with one of our assistant directors. She should be a familiar face to those of you that have been here before. This is Veronica. Veronica, if you don't mind introducing yourself to those who don't know you.
Sure. Good evening. Hey, everybody. So my name is Veronica Spikes. Like she said, I'm a familiar face. This will be my third year working with the camps. I enjoy every moment of it. My background, I'm a middle school teacher. So I work with the older kiddos, and I teach science and social studies. I have a kid of my own who's going off to college next year, so we're in grad season. But I'm really excited about coming back and working with the program and meeting all of your kids. You're on mute, Elise.
Thank you. Sorry. I was going to go ahead and introduce our new assistant director. She may sound familiar. She was with us, but this is her first time in this role. So Alexia, if you don't mind going next.
Yeah. Hey, you guys. My name is Alexia Torres. This is my second year with the camp. You might recognize my voice, maybe not my face so much, because I was one of the communications coordinators last year along with Will. So I'll be able to work with you guys in a different role this year. I'm currently a elementary teacher, so I'm used to working with the little ones, kindergarten through fifth grade, and I'll be working with Cool School and Coding Camp here with the camp. So I'm excited to kind of dip into a new role and make this camp a good experience for you guys.
Thank you, Alexia. And now we're going to do our new communication coordinator. So Charmaine, if you don't mind going first.
Hello, my name is Charmaine. Like she said, I'm the new communications coordinator. I am originally from Florida. I'm new to North Carolina, to Charlotte, and to UNCC. So I'm new at everything. I work at a higher education, in a higher education level for Florida Tech in Florida, and I'm very excited to be here. I'm gonna be the voice on the other line of the phone when you call, and you're gonna see my name when I reply to your emails if you have any questions.
Thank you. And I'll let AC go next. She is our other communications coordinator.
Hi, everyone. I am AC Williams. I am the other voice that you'll get to know over the summer. I am originally from Georgia, from Atlanta, and I am also new to Charlotte. I have been teaching elementary school for about 5 or 6 years, and I just moved over into instructional design. And I'm really looking forward. It's my first year with Camps on Campus. I'm looking forward to talking with you guys.
Thank you. And finally, our amazing lead counselor, who also may be a familiar face for a lot of us.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm Adler Shortle. This is my third year with Camps on Campus, but my first year as lead counselor. I'm really excited to step into this role. I am heading into I just wrapped up my junior year at App State studying communication sciences and disorders. So I'm really excited to head into summer camp. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get into our information. Alexia and Veronica are going to help me a little bit with some of the slides. But like I said, if any questions pop up while I'm talking, please feel free to just put it in the chat and we will answer it as they come through. So I'm going to start with our agenda. So just so you kind of know where the night's going to go, we're kind of start off as we just did, talking about who we are as a staff. And then I'm also going to talk about the program. I do have some spotlights of just what makes our camps unique. We're going to talk about the camp app that we've been using. This is our third year using it now. So again, if you're a returner, this should be a little familiar to you. We're going to do a sample of just what a day looks like, how we do lunch. We're going to focus a couple of slides on drop-off and pickup procedures. This is very important, and especially if you're returning, this has changed slightly. So I do want to highlight that that's going to have some important updates. We're going to talk about what to bring, where, preparation tips, some policy reminders. We're going to finish with some FAQs, and we're going to have the contact info up. Please feel free to take a picture. If something comes up and you really feel like it's an important slide, please feel free to take a picture, but we are also going to send this information out. All right, so I am going to start with just some of our whole programs as youth programs itself. So at UNC Charlotte, we have our youth programs that as Camps on Campus is a big part of it, but we have a few other things I wanted to highlight. So Camps on Campus is what we are doing this summer. We have our Cool School, we have our 49er Minor, we have our Black Rocket coding camps. This is actually run by a partner of ours, Black Rocket. So we host them, we have counselors that help, but Black Rocket is the ones that provide the instructors, and they do all that for our coding camps. And a few other partnerships. We have a Science Olympiad. This is run by the College of Education. Same with our writing project camps. Basically, if you're doing ones like speech and debate and any of our camps at Dubois this year, those are going to be done by our writing project, which is also in partnership with the College of Education. And then our very famous culinary camps, those are done right in our dining hall, right on campus with our Chartwells. Our Niner Academy also has some summer programs, but they are considered their own program, Niner Academy. This is for high school, so that they have a little more feel, as I know high schoolers don't love to feel like they're going to camp. So they have their own name of a Niner Academy to know that they're coming for a college experience, for academic programs on campus. During the school year, and right now we have ACT and SAT prep courses that we partner with ETC. We have some online Niner Academy. Those are, we have a few during the summer as well. And we also do some college admissions webinars where this is actually really good information for parents. So all of these can be found at our youth.charlotte.edu page. And then as far as our year-round workshops, we're working to expand this during some Saturday workshops. Some of you may have joined us a couple weeks ago. We were on campus on May 2nd for some workshops. And then we're working to expand our teacher workday as well. This one is hard to nail down because different school districts have different teacher workdays, but we want to try to provide that for you as well. So we're going to continue expanding those. I'd also like to just highlight our leadership team who's going to be helping you all this summer. So we are all on the left here. This is everybody that you just met. So You have me as the director, and then Veronica and Alexia, they are the associate directors. They are going to be helping a lot with our camp counselor team. So our Alexia is going to help with our Cool School, which is our elementary kids, and then also with our coding camps or Black Rocket. So she's really going to be helping the counselors and instructors with those. And then Veronica is going to be helping with the 49er Minor and Niner Academy camps. Adler, our lead counselor, is going to be helping out with the counselors. She's going to be helping with supplies. She's also in charge of our counselors in training. These are our high school volunteers who come, and they'll mostly be working with our Cool School, but she's going to be kind of the lead of them. And then, of course, we have AC and Charmaine, who you'll be hearing on the phone. They're going to be the ones answering the phones and answering our emails a lot during the summer. As you see on our right here, this is our enrollment specialists. These are the people that you can talk to year round. They work year round, whereas everybody else on this phone call, other than me, is mostly just summertime. But they are really here to help with the payments and account issues that sometimes happen. So they are going to be the ones that you call right now before camp starts. You'll either hear from Emily, Victoria, or Sam, and then Bella, who is our amazing enrollment manager. She also helps out. So I'm going to, all right, let's talk about who we are. So our history is just, we have been here, this is our 26th year. We're really focused on academic camps. This is something that we really pride ourselves in doing. We want to do, fun. We coined this term edutainment, as they say, because we kind of are combining education with just having fun, because it is summer camp. So that's really what our goal here is to provide. But as far as the academic enrichment, we want them to come to camp. We want them to have fun. We really want them to learn something. We want them to have a new skill that they can leave with. And there are a lot of different disciplines that we focus on. We have arts, science, STEM, engineering, coding. We have forensics. We have service learning. We have writing. We have all sorts of amazing programs with all sorts of disciplines. And so this is really, what we have, what makes us unique is all the different ones we have. All of our instructors are either K through 12 teachers who are licensed teachers, or we have actual faculty and staff that work at the university. So they are the ones that are helping us to run these camps. They're experts in their field, and they're providing the best experience that they can for our children. All right, so here are some pillars. I'm going to kind of go through them one by one, but just some pillars that we find really important: safety, friendship and inclusion, this word edutainment, parent communication, college connection, and structure. So let me go ahead and start with safety. This is very important. Safety, you guys are trusting us with your kids on our campus. It's very important to us that safety is our number one concern. So we have mandatory annual background checks for all of our staff, anybody who comes in contact with our campers. We also do certifications for those driving the vans. That is anybody, mostly Alexia, Veronica, our Adler. They'll be mostly the ones for driving the vans for our field trips. We also are going to have training from our campus police for what we call ALICE training, which is our active training, or our active shooter training. It's not something that we want to do, but it is necessary. So we are going to have somebody come and train them for this. We are also going to have similarly someone from a medical field to show us, about EpiPens, things like that. We're going to have an adult to minor ratio. This is, we always stay within our ratios. We work with a rule of 3, where we never have, an adult and a minor at the same time alone. It's always going to be the rule of 3 within them. This is part of our youth protection training. We have issued, we've been doing this for a few years, but we have dash placards to keep our campers safe. The only people that have access to our dash placards are parents that have enrolled their children through the camp app. So this isn't something that that anybody has. Only people that have access to our dash placards are authorized people that can pick up the children. So we would like to mention, just the dash placard, how important that is. We have alerts that go through. We have our Niner character promise. We do have a rule that there is no nuts permitted in camp. This is vital, as we do have campers that are going to that are allergic to them. So that is very important. All of our counselors and all of our staff have two-way radios so that we can constantly be in connection. And it has GPS tracking on it. So that's a little bit about our safety. Our friendships and inclusion, we are always focusing on friendships and having fun. This is something that our counselors really love to facilitate. We are never going to force anybody to be friends, but we always want to facilitate fun friendships and just them having fun. We do focus a lot on the Niner character promise. This is actually something that's part of our application that was signed off on. Just a behavior, promise that we're going to do the best we can behaviorally and come having fun. As far as our edutainment, so this is kind of the word that we put together to include our fun and our education. As mentioned, we have our camp leaders that are licensed teachers. Our camp leaders are our instructors who are running I'm sorry, I think something's going on with the chat. I'm going to get to a few of these questions. I think we're having trouble.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Veronica.
We're trying to work through that now.
Okay. I was going to say, I do see some questions, but I think we're just getting it so that they can answer to everyone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, and if your question is not answered, we're able to download these questions, and we can also, so that we can follow up with you later. You can also email us if that doesn't get answered, but we just want you to know we do see these questions coming in, and we're sorry. I was just trying to get through the information as well, but we are working. I know Francisca's working in the background to fix this, but we will get to these questions as well. Okay. So back to our edutainment. So we have our licensed teachers, our faculty. They are experts in their field. So they are bringing all this incredible activities and hands-on experience for them, but it's also camp. So we want them to have fun. We want them to learn. So this is really important as part of our, camps on campus. Parent communication, everything we have for parent communication is just to give you as much information as possible, starting with this parent orientation. This is why we do this. So hopefully to answer any questions that you have that are coming in, and also to hopefully it answers something you didn't even think to ask. So during camp, we will have online documents such as our camp agendas. This is going to have everything that what your child is doing during the day. So it's almost like a lesson plan, but not quite as detailed. It's also going to have information on there, such as what classroom is your child, what your classroom is your child in, what's their instructor's name, what's their instructor's email, because you are able to contact them. So their camp agendas are very important with a lot of great information. We have maps. We have the dash placard. The dash placard, again, that is so that we know only authorized parents are picking up. We also have a teacher blog. As you all know, with kids, when you pick up your children and you say, "How was your day?" and their response is "fine," or "What did you do today?" "Nothing." Sometimes they don't always give all the information that you want. So our teachers will be providing information every day on their blog on what they did, and even sharing pictures so that you guys are aware of what's going on with them. We have email reminders for upcoming payment deadlines. We have emergency contact information access on our camp app. We will have, as I mentioned, the camp blog, text alerts. If you would like to receive text alerts, this is a great way. You can text UNC Charlotte alerts to 67283. This is a great way to receive just any emergency text about that's going on campus. We do use Notes Home, but those are more so for non-urgent matters. Maybe if they just want to remind you, hey, we don't forget to bring this tomorrow or something like that. So sometimes it's regarding camp behavior, but if we have any urgent issues, you will be called home. So Notes Home is just for non-emergent things. And then we do have pre-camp emails being sent out. We have 14-day emails and 4-day emails. So this is all very important information that'll be automatically sent out to you for pickup, drop off, pre-camp information that you need. Our college connection, this is what's fun about coming to UNC Charlotte, is having these on-campus experiences and opportunities. That's a great way to bring your child to work with you, and to have all this student engagement of seeing the environment of a college experience. Our Niner Academy, our high school, this was also a great way to give them an authentic collegiate feel. They have all of their courses are really focused on career ready courses. So this is a great way for them to get that early college experience. And our last pillar is our structure. So our structure, we have pre-planned agendas. No camp is starting without already having everything prepared. We have a classroom management system that we use, what we call a beat the teacher, where they're trying to beat the teacher in their great experience or in their great behavior. We have consistent communication. You will hear from our counselors. You will hear from Charmaine and AC as needed. And then our carpool procedure and our lunch procedure is something we've been honing and making even better every year. All right, so let's get into our camp app. This is our camp app. It's called My Camp App. This is, and again, please feel free to take a picture of this, but this is site. So we do have a lot of information about how to download the camp app on our website, but we just wanted to share it here. So this is My Camp App. You'll see kind of a picture of it right here. You'll use your code, and I'm going to emphasize this. Once you download it, even using the code, please use the email that you registered your child with. Once you use that email, that's going to automatically get you into the camp, signed in with the camp that you registered your child with. If you use a different email, then you may see nothing when it pops up. I'm also going to say that Adler and I are working very hard to get the camp app ready. So you may sign in today and notice that nothing's popping up. That is absolutely okay. It's because we still are a few weeks out from camp. We're just getting everything ready. We have almost 100 camps that we're running this summer. So it just takes a while to get it all into the app, but it is going to be, it is all going to be these questions. This registration code is for everybody with Camps on Campus. So it doesn't matter what your child signed up for, as long as you are with us, with Camps on Campus, you use that registration code 9201. And again, please use your email that you signed your child up with. So let me show you a little screenshot of what you're going to see when you look at the app. Right when you open it, you'll see at the bottom here, you'll see news, events, photos. So news, we'll have some, throughout the summer, we'll have news pop up of just what to expect coming up. We'll also have an events page where this will have certain information. And just so you know, this is screenshotted from a few years ago because it's not quite ready with our 2026, but it's still the format's going to be exactly the same. So just so you can see why it says 2024 up here, the format's going to be the same. So you'll see events that'll pop up of like, when we do Friday fun dress up days, that'll be under events. Anything special that's happening, we'll put under there. A very popular part of our app is being able to share photos. We share hundreds of photos a week, hundreds of photos. So we will be dividing them into their weeks. So once you sign in using the email that you have to log in, you will have access to your week, and you will have you will see your week and the camp that your child is signed up for, and all the photos will be under this photo app right here. And then finally, our contact. Now, please notice that the communication, the general support, this will be, those are our old communication coordinators. So those will be updated with AC and Charmaine, but Emily, Victoria, and Sam are still there for the payment and account support. This is a great way that their phone numbers and emails will pop up right there. All right, and then this is also a really good one for our documents. So this More app at the bottom, this is where you can see important documents. So you will click the More, you can click My Documents. Now since we have access as staff to all of the camps, we will see all of the camps pop up. You will just see the one that you're registered for. You will click your camp, and then you will see documents that are important for you and your child's camp. Your dash placard will be on there. This is how you get your dash placard. This is why I tell you it's very important to log in with the email that you registered with, because that will have access to this. It will have the carpool tutorial, which we'll put on there. It'll have tip sheet. It'll have the blog. And then also it will have the agenda straight on here. So you can just pull the agenda up and see all the information you have. Another cool feature that it has is a locations on the app. So this is an automatic GPS on the app that you can use on your phone. All of the buildings listed are any of the buildings that may have classes in them. So you'll see at the top of the agenda where your child's classroom will be. You can just go to locations, click the building that your child will be in, and the GPS will take you directly to it. So that way you'll know exactly where your child is, which I think is a really cool part of it. All right, so for the My Media Center, this is where you can print from. I am going to say the app is not printer friendly. The My Media Center is a specific URL, and that's right here on your screen, which, as I said, I think Adler can put that in the chat for you. But this is going to be where you can actually print your documents. So once you get set up on the app, you can use your same username and password to log into here. Thank you, Adler. I see she just put it in the chat. I do suggest if you can click on that link and bookmark it. You may not be able to log into it yet. If you didn't sign up with the app, you will need to sign up with the app first. But go ahead and just bookmark this. And once again, you will not see the documents yet. We are still uploading everything. So if you log in today and you notice that there's nothing there, that's okay. It's just because we haven't gotten everything up. But 2 weeks before your child's camp starts, everything will be up there. So when you log into the My Media Center, you will see right away, you'll see a gallery of photos that you can look at. Notice at the top corner where it says View Documents. This is where you can view your documents and you can print from here. So again, the app, it's not very printer friendly. If you need to print things like the dash placard, you will need to go to the My Media Center on a desktop. And notice that the dash placard, you will have the dash placard that coincides with your kids' camp. So if they're in an elementary school camp, they'll have the Cool School dash placard. Middle school, which is 49er minor, will have that dash placard. Black Rocket and Coding Camps, they have their own dash placard. And then our Niner Academy will have one for them. So that will be here ready for you to print, and we can also help you troubleshoot that. But this needs to be printed from the My Media Center website. All right, let's go through a typical day. So a typical day at camp, we have camper drop-off and pickup. Camper drop-off is going to be at both Klein Hall and McHenry. So we'll talk about in a little bit who's getting dropped off of where. This is a little bit different from last year. So please note that if you if you're wondering if it's exactly the same as last year. It's a little bit different, and we'll explain that to you. But this is going to be between 7:30 and 8:40. At 8:40, we stop and we kind of circle up, do a little check-in, do attendance, make sure we, have everybody that's there today is checked off. They go with their counselors, and then at 8:45, they start walking to their classroom. Learning starts at 9 a.m. so that they can become right into the classroom at 9 a.m. and they'll go to lunch. They have a little break for lunch, and these times are a little bit different. Which is when they will go to the pickup area. So as far as lunch goes, these are the correct times. So if you would like to take a picture of this, this will also be on your child's agenda. If your child is in grades 1 through 4 and they're doing a cool school camp, that is going to start at 11. If they're in 49er minor or a coding camp, that's going to be 11:15. Niner Academy starts at 11:30. So as far as a meal plan, we have meal plans where our campers can eat at Social 704. This is our dining hall right in the student union. This is $65 for the week. And it is, I do want to say, it is just for lunch. It is not also for snacks. Unfortunately, because we work with the Chartwells on campus, once a meal plan is paid for, we are not able to transfer or give refunds for that. And it also needs to be purchased 2 weeks in advance, as we have to give the numbers to our dining service so they know how much food to prep. So this is why we ask that if you purchase a meal plan, you do it 2 weeks in advance to be sure that it is ready and set for when your child comes in. Please do not send cash in the day of camp if you haven't purchased a meal plan. They do not allow us. It's not even our rule. This is a dining service rule. Because we have so many campers coming in, they are unable to handle the cash and the cards that come in. They have to already have a meal plan purchased. And as you can see here, if you have not purchased a meal plan, but you're still interested, you can email CE registration. They can actually go ahead and help you, and they can give you a direct but this is the way to do it before, if you haven't yet. Here's some great examples of some of the stuff that they have. They have soup, they have sandwiches, they have a salad bar, they have pizzas, but just know again that this only covers lunch. Our meal plan does not cover snacks. If they need to purchase, if they have snacks, they must bring them from home. So please note that this only covers our meal plans only. When they have snacks, they need to be peanut free, please. We ask that we have many peanut allergies. Some of them are airborne. So we just made it a rule that we will have no nuts. The same rule is for our instructors and for us. If you are choosing not to do a meal plan and you'd rather pack lunch, please make sure that everything is labeled. Note that we do not have refrigerators and microwaves available, but please feel free to send in ice packs or frozen water bottles, anything to keep them cool. But we are not able to microwave their food, and we're not able to put it in a fridge. All right, so Niner Academy. This is a little special. This is a little special as they are in high school, so they are the only campers that get the privilege of being able to purchase food from our retail. So we have Chick-fil-A, Bojangles, and Wendy's that's on campus and open during the summer. Our Niner Academy can choose to go there. This is different than a meal plan. Meal plans are our dining services in Social 704. These are our retail on campus. They are able to purchase this. I will say that this is different than our coding camps. So if you have a rising 9th grader and they are participating in the Black Rocket coding camps, that is not the Niner Academy. They will not be able to purchase the retail. Our only campers that purchase retail are in our Niner Academy. So it is possible that they may be Niner Academy as a rising ninth grader one week and coding the next week. If they're with coding, they either need to have a meal plan or a packed lunch. But they can, any and that is good for anybody, but we cannot do cash and card for the meal plans. All right. I am going to stop right here real quick so that Veronica is going to start taking over drop off, but I do want to see if there's anything. Adler, is there something that you think I should? I'm sorry, I have not been following the chat because I'm trying to do the information. So if you see something that you feel like I can answer, I will go through. But Veronica, if you want to go ahead and start doing the drop off, I will check out the chat and see if there's something that I can help out with.
Okay, perfect. Excuse me. So with pickup off, which is first, it's a little different this year. If you've had a camper with us before in a cool school, coding, or 49er minor camp, our middle school camps, it is in the same location. I'm just going to try to use, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but the green line that you see on the screen, you're going to follow the same entryway and come all the way around. Disregard for drop off the additional parking lot that it has you going around. You're going to continue to come all the way around like before. We're just going to drop off a little closer to the stop sign. They're going to do some kind of parking or some kind of construction. So it's just shifting us down, but it's in the same area, just shifting us down a little bit farther. So you'll still enter the same way, come all the way around Popular Terrace, and then drop off just a little farther down than normal. Again, so this year, one of the changes that Elise had mentioned for drop off, Cool School, which is first through fourth grade campers, and 49er minor, our fifth through eighth grade, will be the only two camps dropped off at this location. And we'll show you the second location in just a second. We previously had coding camps dropped off here. They will no longer be dropped off at the Klein Hall location. A couple of reminders about drop off. It begins at 7:30 every morning. We just ask that if you do arrive before 7:30, please do not leave your camper outside. We have our staff, we're preparing and getting things ready for the day, so no one may be out there. So just please kind of wait until you see us come out and set up before just letting your camper out of the vehicle before we're able to get there and supervise. So just keep them in the car until 7:30. I would say label everything. We do check with campers when they arrive if they have their lunches. Sometimes they leave things on the walkway because they're able to play during that time, during the drop-off time, that 7:30 to 8:40 window. They're outside playing, so just make sure you label everything in case something is left on the walkway, like a lunch or a jacket, water bottle. We can get that back to them in their camp. And then walk up. For drop off, it's not required that a parent comes up to sign them in. Campers will just report to the table that will be right there when they get out of the car, and we will check them in from there. If you want to walk your camper up to check them in, it's totally fine. I know especially first days, our kids can get nervous. We just ask that you will park your vehicle in a parking space and get out and walk them up to the check-in table just to kind of keep our flow going in the mornings. We do at certain points get a little busier than others. So we just ask that you park if you're going to walk your camper up to check them in, or I know some people take pictures and all the things, but if you can just park your vehicle and then just walk them up so we can keep the line moving. Other things about drop off, like Elise said, at 8:40, we start rounding up our campers for the day, giving our clipboards to our counselors so they can check in their kids, make sure they have all the kids they're supposed to have, check for lunches, who has meal plans, who should have a lunch with them. And at that time, we begin moving and transitioning to their classrooms. So we ask that if you do arrive after that 8:40, 8:45 window, you will then have to park your car and walk your student to their classroom. All of their classroom information will be on the app, so you're able to access it and find out the building, the classroom number, and then you will have to take them to their camp. I would recommend, if you do come a little later and you have to walk them in, parking in the Union deck. Majority of our camps are in the buildings right across from that versus parking over by drop off. It's a little walk to get to the classrooms. So I just suggest, if you're going to be late and you or you are late, you miss that cutoff, park there and walk your camper to their classroom. A couple other things, just parking for our Niner Academy students who may drive. So this is our high school campers. They are allowed to drive on campus and drive themselves, but they do have to pay for parking. So you would need to go through parking services to get them a parking pass. Again, the Union deck or the East deck, depending on where their classroom is located, they will have to pay for parking on campus. It's not covered in the camp fee. And I think that's the main points for drop off. Again, the biggest thing is, please make sure that you are not leaving your camper unattended. We're technically at 7:30, we become responsible for them. Anything prior to that, we may not be out there or see them. So please do not just drop them off and leave them until you see that our staff has set up and ready to welcome them to camp that day. Were there any questions that I did not answer?
I was going to say, if I could just answer a few without typing. So as far as the, I saw someone said between 7:30 and 8:40, will they remain outside? That is weather dependent. So if it's really, really hot, or if it's raining, they will go inside either to Klein or McHenry. But if it's really nice out and they're playing outside and it's not terribly hot, then they will stay outside. Also, if high schoolers that are not driving, we're actually going to get to where they're being picked up. So they have their own separate location where they're going to be dropped off and picked up if they're not driving. If they do drive, unfortunately, we do not have a weekly or parking pass. They will do visitor parking. So I'm going to cover that in the next slide. So I'm going to wait to answer all the questions about high school in just a minute. All right. Alexa, you want to go ahead and talk about the dash placard?
Yeah. So I'll be the person you usually see for the pickup. Our first priority is to get your camper out to you safely, but also as quickly as possible. Pickup is going to start at 4:15. It'll be that same route that Veronica just showed you guys, but instead of dropping off your camper, you'll simply be picking them up. This is an example of what your dash placard is going to look like. We would really prefer that you print it out, but as Elise said, if you having trouble printing it out, we'll kind of help you work through that. And put your camper's name on the actual placard and set it in your dash. That'll help me and the lead counselor Adler kind of type the names into our dismissal spreadsheet to get your camper out to you as quickly and efficiently as possible. But if you for some reason can't get it to print, you can simply show us on your phone so we can still make sure the camper is getting out to the correct person, the authorized people for pickup. And that way because if you don't have it, you'll have to actually show your ID. And that could slow down the process just a bit because we'll have to verify, make sure you're an authorized person for pickup. And it's much more helpful, super helpful if you just have this ready to show. Because again, as mentioned earlier, only people who registered the student for camp have access to this placard. So that's how we ensure that we're releasing to the camper to the correct people. Also, it helps us communicate with the inside crew because the way it's going to work, we'll type in the name into the document. They'll then call the camper's name out loud and they will begin to walk out. Our new pickup location is a little bit of a further walk than it was last year. So if you please would have a little bit patience to ensure the camper has some time to walk out to your car. Also, my bad. Also, there is a QR code on here for early release. That QR code is not scanned for pickup. It's just for you, for your records for early pickup. So if there's a day that you need to come pick up your camper early, you'll simply scan it, fill it out. That way our office can let any counselors know, hey, so-and-so is going to be leaving early for this day at this time. And that way everybody's aware of any early pickups for that day. And yeah. For pickup at McHenry Hall, it might be a little bit different, as mentioned earlier, if you're in the 49er camp versus the coding camp. For it might change. You might be at McHenry for one camp, and then the next camp you might be back over at Klein. So just be mindful of that. And you'll simply follow this orange path. It looks like Craver Road. You'll pull up into lot 16A, and right where you see that red square right there, if you guys can see it, that'll be where your campers will come out of the building of McHenry. And then you'll pull back out into Craver Road. So it is a little bit different. Well, not the route, but the camps themselves are a little different from previous years.
Yeah, really what we want to point out is the coding camps used to be dropped off at Klein. So just know that that's the biggest difference we have this year. In order to help with the traffic at Klein, they're moving to McHenry. So that is a big difference from last year to this year. But otherwise, the drop off and pickup is very similar. It's just that way, it's just not everybody all at once. Okay. All right, so this is where I'm going to talk about the Niner Academy. I know we had a lot of questions about them driving themselves. So I'm just going to go over what our Niner Academy students can do. So if you have a high schooler that is 16 and up and they can drive themselves, you can choose for them to do self-checkout. So they can self-check themselves out, which means that they can drive, they can park, they can check themselves in, they can check themselves out. If they have siblings, they are allowed to pick up their own siblings, of course, but we do ask that their sibling is listed on the application so that we know who they're allowed to pick up. Even if it's, because there are times where a cousin is there too. So I should say that if a cousin is there, anybody that is listed on their application can be picked up by them, but they must be listed by you. If you are unsure if you clicked whether or not they're allowed to self-checkout, our registration team can help you to look that up on their application. So that is something that you can still go back in and check if you don't think you did, or if you think you accidentally did, but maybe your child's only 14 and 15, you can go back in and uncheck that, as they have to be 16 and up, regardless of if they're driving, they have to be 16 and up to do self-checkout. So again, that means that they can come to campus on their own, they can check themselves in, they can check themselves out. Please just know that until 7:30, when they check themselves in, or whatever time they get there, or after they check themselves out, they are no longer under our supervision. So it is up to you if you would like your child to be able to check themselves in and out because they're 16 and up. Please know that until they come and check in with us, they are not going to be under our program supervision until they do that. And then once they check out, they are free to go on their own. If they are coming to park and they're driving on their own, we do have Two suggestions: there is a student union deck, which is right at the union, or the East deck. I will say that the student union deck is going to be closer to where most of the classrooms are, but they do have to pay visitor parking there. Only anybody with an actual Charlotte email, so faculty, staff, our employees who are counselors and our instructors who are working are able to buy, like weekly passes and things like that. So unfortunately, if they are choosing to drive, they do have to pay visitor parking, which they can just pay right there. They don't have to do that online. They just go into the visitor parking lot. They can get a ticket and then they pay on their way out. It is $15 a day to do that. So if they're okay paying that price and they want to drive themselves, they are welcome to do that. Just know that everybody has to pay to park on campus, unfortunately, including us. So they will have to do that pricing. Again, if you would like to update the permission or you're not sure of what the permission is for your high schooler, you can please call our enrollment team. That is the 8900 number you see here, and they can help you update that permission. All right, our late policy. So we have our staff here until 5:30. This is the latest time that you can pick up your child. We do know that things happen. Charlotte has crazy traffic sometimes. If something happens, we ask that you please find somebody else who's authorized to pick up your child to come get them, so that we are not here past that time. We do have a 5-minute grace period, so we will be there up to 5:35, but anybody who comes to pick them up, even, if you're running late, please make sure it's an authorized adult. We cannot just give them to anybody. That's, of course, for their safety. So please make sure that it's a parent or guardian or someone that is authorized to pick them up. If you are later than 5:35, we are going to have to start charging, as that is overtime that we have to work with our staff. And then sometimes if they're working overtime, they may have to come in late the next day, which affects our process of how we're running. So please be mindful of picking all of your children up by 5:30 at the latest. And that charge is, if that happens, that a late fee is incurred because of that. That'll go directly on your balance, and it does need to be paid within 2 business days. It can affect whether or not your child can come back to camp if that's not paid off, or if they can even come back in the future, which we really do not want that to happen, but that's just what happens with those fees like that. And unfortunately, we can't quite change that. So please be mindful of picking your children up by 5:30. Okay, so I'm going to go over. Go ahead. Go ahead, Veronica.
Just one other thing about drop off. The dash placard is not needed. So if in the mornings when you're dropping them off, if you want to give us their name and information, that's fine, but we don't have to necessarily see or check your placard or ID for that. Sorry, thanks.
No, that's perfect. I'm glad you said that. That is great to know, because sometimes we do try to get that, but anybody can drop your child off because they'll be safe with us. But yes, that is necessary. So, all right. So some sample classrooms. Just to go over kind of what can you expect your child to be in while they're here on campus. So it mostly depends on what kind of camp they're in. If they're doing a coding camp with Black Rocket, they're going to be in a room with computers or computer lab. If they're doing one of the musical theaters or audition boot camp, they're going to be in the theater room such as this, which you also will be able to see. You come and see their performance at the end of the week. We have a lot of science courses that are often uses labs. Usually those are not full-time classes for us. They may just visit those and go back to their regular classroom, but we do have camps that visit that. Otherwise, they're in a standard classroom with tables and chairs in one of our buildings. So these are just some examples of what their classroom will look like. Their main classroom of where they'll be, once again, will be at the top of their agenda. And these, so you'll always know. You can also always call our line at camp, for which AC and Charmaine will be answering. They'll be able to tell you where what room the child's in. But on the agenda, if they're, for whatever reason, they're going to a different classroom, such as a lab, or let's say they wanted to use a computer lab for an hour, it will be listed on the agenda when they're moving around campus. That way you'll always know where your child is. All right. So I'm going to go into important things to bring, and I'm going to kind of go a little bit quicker as we're getting close to that 7 o'clock. So we'll stay on a little extra for the questions that haven't been answered yet, but I am going to go just a little bit faster just for those that are on a time crunch. And once again, this is being recorded and will be sent out for you to view, just in case you do have to leave right at that 7 o'clock time. So just some ideas of what to pack and bring for your child. I actually saw something about this in the chat. This is camp, so please make sure that they're wearing comfortable clothing, athletic shoes, as they'll be walking around a lot. And we really encourage, or discourage flip-flops. If you have a refillable water bottle, we highly suggest, even if it's not refillable and it's just a plastic one, we suggest them writing their name on them, because we do not want water bottles getting mixed up. Same with lunch boxes. They are welcome to bring regular lunch boxes. Please make sure their name is on it. They can bring snacks, just no nuts. A backpack or a bag is great, because that can actually be art projects and things used to take home. That would be great for that. If it's raining, they're welcome to bring any rain gear. Sunscreen is great. We just ask that you maybe apply it in the morning before they come, but they're welcome to hold that in their backpack and reapply as needed. We put basic supplies on here. It's not needed, as we will have all the supplies they need, but sometimes campers love to use special markers or special pens. They're welcome to bring that in the backpack. Again, we just suggest that it's labeled just in case it gets mixed in, but that is completely up to you if they would like to bring that. And then I do want to say about medication. This is very important, as we do not have a nurse on staff. So if your child requires any sort of medication or EpiPen, this needs to stay in their backpack with them at all times. If they have something like a daily pill that they need to take, we highly recommend that you just send one dose with them. That's just a recommendation. It's not a requirement, but that way they don't have to be in charge of the whole bottle if needed. And then anytime any medication is administered, even if it's routine and something that they have to take every day, we still will let you know that they've taken it just by a quick phone call or text, just because we always want to keep you informed anytime medication is given, whether or not they're taking themselves, or our counselors are just there to assist them, to remind them. We can do that as well. So just a reminder that needs to stay on them. We do not have a nurse on campus. All right, top 10 things. We have given you so much information. We still have a few more things to still go over, but these are the top 10 tips that we can give you. We have our Niner character promise. We will go over this on Mondays of every camp, but we highly recommend you looking over it. It's on our website. Our drop off and pickup tutorial video will be made. It's got to be tweaked a little bit from last year, but that's going to be up on our camp app in the next 2 weeks. Please remember about if you are here no later than 8, this is 8:30, 8:40, 8:45 is fine. We will still be there. But if you are come after 8:45, please know that you will have to take them directly to the classroom. We do not stay at Klein and McHenry for late pickups, as we're all taking the kids to their classrooms. So we don't want any child to just be dropped off and left without any supervision. So if you notice that we're not at Klein anymore, please take them directly to their classroom and be there no later than 5:30 for pickup. Pack those snacks, bring the lunch if needed, if they don't have a meal plan. If you can notify us no later than 3:30 for early pickups. This way, between 3:30 and 4, sometimes we're transitioning. cleaning up. And so if you do need an early pickup, we ask that you please do it before 3:30. This is also a great way if you would like to skip the pickup and drop off line. You are welcome to just take them directly to the classroom after 9 a.m. or pick them up before 3:30. If you have something, dance class, something you need to get to, you are more than welcome to just pick them up directly from that classroom. You can call us at our 8260 number that's listed right here, and make sure that we have on file any designated adults that are allowed to pick up your child. Once again, the registration enrollment can help with that. If you have any needs that you want us to know, you can put that in the camp application. You can also share that with us via the youth programs email, and make sure that you're looking at that camp app. Again, it is not quite ready yet, so it may not let you register quite yet because we need to upload all of that information in there, and it hasn't been uploaded yet, but it will be in the next 2 weeks. All right. Don't forget to label everything. If your child asks to bring something valuable, we highly suggest that they leave that at home. We do not want that to get lost or damaged at camp. You are welcome to download this Live Safe app. This app actually has notifications as well. We talked about earlier how you can get text messages for notifications, but this app also is something that the university uses. And then I know we've said this a million times, but please download that camp app, and it will be ready within the next 2 weeks with all of your information in there. Okay, I think I maybe saw this in the chat earlier. I'm not sure, but if your child has any accommodations, such as an IEP or a 504 plan, please, if you are comfortable, you do not have to, but please feel comfortable to share that with us. Almost all of our instructors are certified teachers. I'm a certified teacher. We all have experience with IEPs and 504. So any accommodations that we can help your child with and you're comfortable sharing with us, please feel free to send that to the youth programs email, and we will work with you. We want all of the children to succeed. So anything that we can do to help you and make your child comfortable, please feel free to share. All right, I feel like we've kind of gone over this. I'm going to go to the next slide, as this has a very important payment deadlines on it. And so in case you want to take a picture of this, please know before I go to that slide, we have a $100 non-refundable deposit. So if you decide that something happens, you're going on vacation, you no longer want to send your child to that camp, you can get a refund up to 2 weeks before the start of the camp to everything other than the $100 deposit. We do have that non-refundable to hold spots. So please note that that is a non-refundable $100 deposit, but anything else that is paid to your account is refundable up to 2 weeks prior to the camp started. So once it's 2 weeks to start of that camp, and when I say that camp, I mean, if you're in week 8, which is in August, you have 2 weeks up until that camp. It's not 2 weeks until any of the camps start in June 8th. So it is week to week. We don't have auto draft. So if you've only paid your $100 deposit, you do need to manually go in and pay the rest. We do not want to lose your child by having this experience because you thought it was paid. So please feel free to check in with the registration team if you're not sure. And then we kind of went over everything else, no valuables. Okay, I'm going to keep this up here just for a minute. These are our very important invoice deadlines. Notice that week 1 starts June 8th. So 2 weeks exactly before that is May 25th. That is when you have to pay off your invoice. That is the same with every camp. So you'll see week 8 starts August 3rd. You have all the way until July 20th. It's exactly 2 weeks beforehand to pay it off. And then we did give a 2-day with the meal plans. Usually it's the same day as the invoice, but we gave kind of a 2-day grace period with that. So you have up until 2 weeks, but really it's about 12 days to get a meal plan still. So everybody could still get a meal plan as of today. You have until May 27th if you decide to do that. So we do not have a link. The registration, CE registration, the enrollment team needs to give you the link to pay directly to your account. So if you do need to pay anything for your account, you can contact the registration or enrollment team and they can direct you to how you can pay. So we do not have that ourselves. They are the only ones that can handle payments. All right. And again, if you didn't get all of these days, this will all be emailed to you tomorrow. Here are some FAQs for you, just questions that come up. You know, if you work on campus, you are absolutely welcome to walk your child to the drop-off area to pick them up. You can walk them directly to the classroom. Payments, there's information on our FAQ online of how to do that. But thank you, Francisca, for putting that email on them. And there, you can email them directly with help for that. For the waitlisted camps, you have 48 hours to enroll your child. Once that 48 hours is up, it does go to the next child to be able to enroll. So please note that 48 hours is not something we can extend. We know when payments are due. If you need to add any updates to your camper's profile, you can do that with our registration. They can also help with the payments. All of our documents are going to be available on the camp app. Please know again that you may not be able to register for the camp app tonight, but that's because we are working on uploading everything into that system. So 2 weeks before the start of your child's camp, you will absolutely have access then. If you forget your dash placard and you don't have, the camp app up, please just come with your ID. If you have your ID and you are a person that is able to pick up your child, you can just show us your ID. And if you need to contact your child's instructor, their email will be on the agenda. And also AC and Charmaine can also help you to get their information, but you can always contact our instructors directly if you have questions for them about the content. All right, shameless plug about our Facebook. If you want to see even more pictures, we put them on the camp app, but we also post pictures on our Facebook. The only pictures that we post are those that are able to be photographed. That is something you chose during your application. So if you chose for your child not to be photographed, they will never be on either the camp app or the Facebook page. But if they are, you may see them on there. So follow us. And I am going to leave this up for you so that you have these numbers. The 704-687-8900, that is our year-round number. Our enrollment team helps with that number. They can always answer questions year-round, but specifically during the summer, if you have questions about purchasing meal plans, whether or not you have paid off all of everything that you needed to pay off, anything with accounts and payments, you can go to them. Once camp starts on June 8th, our 687-8260 number is going to be active, and that's where you can get a hold of AC and Charmaine and any general support that you need at all. That will be that number. Our youth programs email and our registration email is on here, as well as our website. So I am going to look through the chat and see if you guys see anything that needs to be called out. Let me see. I do see something. Okay. Leah, if we're in line, but our child is not in the car by 5:35. So actually, Leah, I'm not sure if you're still here, but our line dies down about 4:30, 4:45. So if you're not getting there until after 5, maybe 5:15, the line is so far down because it's always pretty long right at the beginning of pickup, but it goes down so far that if you don't get there until 5:15, you won't be in a line anymore. You'll be able to just kind of drive up and pick up your child, as pickup slows down so much by then. So if there won't be a line, but of course, if you're there by 5:30, 5:35 picking up your child, we will not charge you. I do see a question about field trips. Field trips are completely up to the instructors. So we cannot guarantee that all camps go on field trips, but if they do, it will directly relate to the theme of their camp, and you will know about it on their agenda, and you'll have access to the agenda 2 weeks before the camp starts. Okay, thank you, Dawn, for answering that question. We will be emailing out the slides and the recording, and also we will be posted on our website, so you can access it at any time. Oh, I see a question about cell phones. Great question. So absolutely, they're allowed to bring their cell phones. We are just going to ask that they please don't use it during the actual instruction. So between 9 and 12 and 1 and 4 o'clock, we're going to ask that they just try to be present with it. But we know a lot of kids have cell phones. They are more than welcome to have them with them. They can talk to you during drop off and pickup. They can use them at break time, but we're just going to ask, like they do at school, that they put it away then. If you work on campus, you are more than welcome to walk up and pick up your child. Just please still have the dash placard, just so that we know that you know, just because we need that for anybody, but you are more than welcome to walk up to pick up your child. Drop off and pick up for Science Olympiad. That's a great question. So Science Olympiad is a partner camp with us, and they will actually be picked up and dropped off at a separate location at the, I believe it's the Woodward building, but that will be emailed to you by them. So they take registration separately. So that's the only camp that is slightly different. The lunch locations do take Apple Pay. If you have a high schooler with Apple Pay, they can do that. See, if I did not answer your question, please feel free to put it in there again. Let's see, if you offered a slot from the wait list, will they be able? So you can switch into an opening if you're in a wait list and it opens up and you would like to switch, you can, but unfortunately the $100 deposit is not transferable. So you may have to so you don't have to pay for the whole camp, but the $100 deposit you may have to do, as that is non-transferable. So you can switch. I believe Science Olympiad does still have some spots available. That is on our website under either 49er minor if they're in middle school, or the Niner Academy in high school. They have we work with them, so we have a link to their registration, but their registration, we don't take their registration, so I am not sure how many, but I do believe they still have spots open. Can a parent that works remote work on campus? Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, we've had parents work on campus. That's not a problem. You're also allowed to eat with your child. If you would like to go to Social 704 to eat with them, that's more than free. For the first day of camp, are parents allowed to wait with the child? I actually suggest that you're more than welcome to walk them to the classroom. Yeah, you can walk with them to the classroom. We don't have a problem with that. They do just still need to be checked in with their counselors to know that they're there. So if you would like to walk with them on the first day, that's a great question. If you don't have any more questions, you are free to go. Like I said, we will be sharing this recording, and the youth programs email and the CE registration is always available for questions afterwards. So please feel free if something else comes up. You are welcome to reach out.